Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. We are doing more of our Posthomerica illustration, and we're going to see if we can get a couple other figures in here. There's one thing I want to change about this before we go further, which is that the sword, I was thinking about it, the sword should not exist above the head dress thing. So we're gonna just put that back in the other direction. I like the way Neoptolemus turned out. This figure we probably screwed around with the most since probably the beginning. Maybe the first, Penthesilea Achilles one we were experimenting with the actual most because we didn't know what the style of this project was going to look like. But after that, I think this one is the one that we've messed around with the most because I wasn't really loving the design. It was too similar to Achilles, and it looked just like uninteresting of a pose, and I think we ended up with something that looks pretty cool. It's pretty like heroic. It's communicates what we want. It gives us an interesting opportunity to do the shield, interior of a shield, which we haven't depicted yet. I'm also interested to try and do this. So let's grab this here. We're gonna take a piece off of this, and we're gonna make a little lip on the shield. I feel like that communicates more weight, or like a more of a 3D object than what we have. Okay, so Neoptolemus is done for now. What do we got here? Alternate cape we don't need. This will put into its own layer or its own group. And what is this? Is the background, or rather the guide layers. So now we're gonna turn this to 30, and we're gonna put in all these figures on the side. Maybe we'll do the ship first. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong button. Let me grab my ship reference. Okay. Is that the same? It feels like it's not the same thickness. Maybe it was like 40? Oh, I was thinking too that maybe we could get an oar into the frame somehow. Like if we put a thing here So let's, we'll do that on a different layer. Oops. And we'll go like this. And this is going to be the area where the oars can go. We'll get this. And we will go down from the top. Now what we want to do is, I don't really know what we're going to do with this eyeball, because we're doing it in an inverted direction. So we'll probably fill in this eye with white and then see where we can go from there, because I don't think it's going to work the other way. Now we'll grab this and take this like here. Actually, I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it more kind of... So the way they have it is that it's like fastened here. Although, okay, hold on. We got to rethink this if it's a white figure image. What it should be is, we'll make a new layer. These should be number one, this I'm gonna have go like that. I'm gonna put that on the old layer. It should be that there's an outline for this rigging around the thing. It's not what I was depicting it as. I'm actually gonna do it like this. And good. Then we'll go to this layer and we're gonna add the rigging. So how do we do that? Maybe if we drew it in black first, that might be the best way to go about it. Okay, and then we will get this sail here. And this sail here. And then we'll go across. And then what I figure we'll do is we'll add an outline around this, probably a thin one. Which will kind of indicate the sail. So, or rather not the sail, the rope, while it's a black figure, because this is going to be a black figure image, even the boat. So we got to make sure that it reads. It doesn't make sense now necessarily, but once I change the background color of the boat, you'll understand. So right now we just want to fill in these parts. And we're gonna get the sections, the black sections, to go behind the white where these pieces of rigging are supposed to go, but we'll do that after. I think this will be the best way to do this. Maybe having them be white after all will be best, but you know, we'll try this first and we'll see what works. Okay, so the reason we did that is because now, oops, we're going to put in the black fill layer of the ship. And I assume this will work. Let's see. Yeah, I think that looks probably better than if the sails were white or the rigging was white. Good. Yeah, it's great. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Actually, we're gonna fill this with black because we might cut out, I'm not sure what we'll do for this eye yet. And we'll fill this to the bottom as well because we're gonna cover that with a ground plane. Okay. And so now I want to add another layer on top of this that communicates this eye. So let's make it smaller. We're going to put the bones in pretty heavily. And I would like to have one kind of like border layer, like that. Then, let's get that in properly. It keeps deleting because it's close to the edge. Now we're gonna do a circle, like a really thick circle like that. Very cool. Now let's put this in its own thing, and we'll see what happens if we kind of dim it a tiny bit. I think that's better just so it doesn't overpower. Now let's put all this into its own thing. Am I missing? Oh yeah, this didn't make it in. And we're gonna group those. So that looks great. This I think is in the wrong direction. Yeah, that's correct. And now for this, I actually just want to change. Now what's happening here? I see. We accidentally put this layer. Aha. Okay. So what we have to do is duplicate this. And we actually want to separate this from the rest. Okay, and now this we're gonna take out and put here. Then we have to remove this once again from what we have, but in the other direction. Now only the eye is translucent, not the entire ship. Good. So from here, we are going to do the figures of the people. Yep. So let me get my references for them. And it's important to me that we stay at the same kind of pencil size. So that we're not kind of being disingenuous about it. Okay, so the first guy, I don't really like his form, so we will probably change his sizing. So this one has kind of a cool No, he's too tall like that. I think we do actually need to make him a little smaller. And we can redo his head to be thicker later if we feel like we need it. Okay. So this guy has the swirl coming down from here. I think that's pretty cool. And I think he needs to get even smaller. It's the thing about these figures is like, the thing is, I think his head is supposed to be kind of cartoonishly large compared to the rest of him. So it's not that we need to make him smaller, so we need to make his head, or his body smaller. Okay. Very good. And maybe we'll give him maybe like a shield like that. Like he's just holding it off to the side. Yeah, except I think that was off center. I keep making it feel like this circle is facing downwards. I think that's better. I think it's because the shield is actually lopsided. Better. All right, good. So that's a small figure guy. Working pretty well. Yeah, I don't think we want to put much more detail than that. Maybe like a little arm muscle or something. We don't want to put the same kind of arm musculature on as we have for Neoptolemus. Good. Now we're going to fill that first guy with black. We're going to turn off the bones for that. It's hard for me to do this without trying to add more details, but we have to keep in mind the bigger picture, that these guys are meant to feel small. So we can't just like draw them really detailed and then make them smaller, because that will it'll give the impression that they're just like scaled down characters. We want to use a brush that is just as thick as the one we used for the main guy in the scene, and have it so that it's not really possible to add as much detail to these guys. I think that works. Okay, so we're gonna group them, and we're gonna group them again, because I figure that this group will be where we put all the soldiers. So this guy's gonna be kneeling. Let's see if we can get him right on the first try. He has to have a really big head compared to his body, or else it's not gonna really work. He has a really cool, this one that I'm using for reference has a really cool headband that goes like this. Or it's more like, yeah. And then it has like two sort of radial things like that. Yeah. Good. We might need to move his arm a little bit from that, because I don't think you can really bend it in that kind of way. So maybe like this. Let's put the bones back in too. So we're gonna do this. And this. And this. Good. It's really hard for me to not just zoom in and put more details on these guys, but we don't want them to have more details than this. So we'll go put this stuff in here. And after that, well, I guess we just keep moving down the line. We already have the sort of layouts for where everybody's gonna be doing their thing. This was nice because we didn't botch the scale on this guy either. We got it on the first try. So hopefully that bodes well for the other guys. Oh, my pencil is running out of batteries here. Okay. So that's what we got so far. He's coming off the ship. There's these guys in the fort. And right now they kind of look like little toys. Hopefully the concept will be communicated once the actual composition is in. Otherwise, it's a guy attacking some toy soldiers. I don't know. That works too, I guess. Maybe. Good stuff, though. They look suitably unique from each other. They have different weapons. They're both doing their poses. Great. So ladies and gents, that is going to do it for this episode of working on the Posthomerica illustrations. Next time we'll keep going with the figures on the left, and then after that we'll start adding just general details to everything. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for joining the show.